Hi, welcome to this latest edition of Questions About Anne Boleyn. And today I've got a very special supervisor who's just making sure that I get everything right. And this is Boni the dog, our eldest dog, being nearly 13 years old now. Now, I'm often asked about Anne Boleyn's social class and whether she was a commoner or a member of the aristocracy. Well, if we take the definition of commoner as one of the ordinary or common people as opposed to the aristocracy or royalty, then you'd call Anne Boleyn a commoner because she was not born a member of the aristocracy and she wasn't royal until, of course, she married Henry VIII in 1533. However, Anne Boleyn was far from a common person as we think of a peasant. And you couldn't even call her middle class in the sense that we use it today. But first of all, let's look at what was the aristocracy. Well, the aristocracy was the class which was the next level down from royalty. These were the nobility, people who were of noble birth or who'd been given titles such as Earl and Duke. Anne's mother was Lady Elizabeth Howard, daughter of Thomas Howard, Earl of Surrey, and later 2nd Duke of Norfolk. The Howards were one of the premier families in England, having a long history of service to the monarch. And in 1483, King Richard III had made Elizabeth's grandfather, John Howard, Duke of Norfolk and Earl Marshal of England, very important offices. So Elizabeth was of the aristocracy. The Boleyns, the Boleyn family, had a merchant background, but they did well for themselves, with Geoffrey Boleyn, one of Anne's paternal great-grandfathers, becoming Lord Mayor of London and being knighted by King Henry VI and marrying Lady Anne Hu, daughter and heiress of Thomas Hu, Baron Hu and Hastings. Then Anne Boleyn's other paternal great-grandfather was Thomas Butler, 7th Earl of Ormond of Kilkenny Castle, a wealthy man who was descended from Theobald Walter, 1st Baron Butler, Chief Butler of Ireland. Like the Howards, the Butlers had a long history of service to the crown. So the Butlers and Howards were aristocrats. But where does that leave Anne Boleyn? Well, Anne was of the gentry class, the level below the aristocracy or nobility. But classes at that level were not rigid. My dear friend and excellent historian Gareth Russell explains it wonderfully in his online history course on Henry VIII's 6 wives, which he did for medievalcourses.com. Gareth says, there is absolutely no question that Anne Boleyn didn't even belong to the 1%. She belonged to the 0.5% of the population. Now I've got a cat meowing just to join in there. The aristocracy and the gentry are only strictly divided in the histories of people who were born outside of it. The aristocracy and the gentry tended to mix fluidly. It was not a case of entrenched snobbery in regards who was the daughter of an earl compared to who was the granddaughter of a marquis. What mattered was that Anne was born into a landed patrician family. Anne Boleyn wasn't a commoner done good or some kind of ambitious social climber. Anne Boleyn was from the top 0.5% of society. She was from a very privileged background, and I don't think we can call her a commoner in the way that we see it today. She was far from a peasant. She was very privileged. So I hope that answers that question. Please do subscribe by clicking round about there and hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live. I'm hoping to do lots more of these questions about Anne Boleyn videos. And yes, Boni is just hiding now. She doesn't like the fame. She's not quite Teasel. She's not really into the fame and fortune, are you, Boni? No. See you very soon. Take care. Please give me a like and leave a comment if you wish. She doesn't know, I just want to get down, Mum.